My brother poured a full can of paint thinner over 8 months of my work and told me, smiling, "There, now nobody has to pretend your art matters anymore." My older brother Reyes is 22 and treats my existence as a personal insult. He dropped out, drifts between jobs he quits within weeks, and cannot stand that I, 17, still in high school, actually know what I want. What I want is to paint. It's the only thing that's ever made sense to me, and this year it turned into something real. A shot at a full scholarship to a serious art program, decided by a juried exhibition that scouts attend. Our mother works 3 jobs, cleans offices at dawn, runs a register midday, does home care at night. I almost never see her, and when I do, she's asleep sitting up. So the centerpiece of my portfolio became her. A big canvas of my mom asleep in her work uniform at the kitchen table at 2 a.m. One shoe off, the streetlight coming through the blinds, her hand still curled like she was holding something. I'd worked on it for months. It was the truest thing I'd ever done. Reyes hated that our mother let me use the enclosed back porch as a studio. He wanted it for his weight bench, for the life he kept insisting was about to start. One afternoon, I came home from dropping medicine off for our mom on her shift, and the whole porch reeked of chemicals. He doused everything. The portfolio, the sketchbooks, the portrait of our mother, in paint thinner. The canvases were bleeding and warping, my mom's face dissolving into a gray slick. He was lifting weights 3 feet away. "Relax," he said, not even winded. "You're doing us all a favor by giving up now. Nobody's ever gonna feel anything looking at your stuff. You just don't have it. The sooner you accept that, the less pathetic this all is." I didn't scream. Something in me went very quiet instead, because he'd just told me, to my face, that my work could never make anyone feel anything, and that was a claim I could actually test. Here's what Reyes forgot. The scholarship deadline was still 9 days out. I didn't sleep much that week. I couldn't recreate the portrait from the same photo. That version was gone, and trying to copy it felt like lying. So I painted something harder. I painted the moment I'd just lived. A teenage boy standing in a doorway looking at his ruined work, and behind him, faint, like a ghost in the fumes, the image of his mother asleep at that table. The painting inside the painting. The thing that got destroyed still somehow refusing to disappear. I called it what he couldn't wash off. I submitted it with a written statement about what had happened to the original. I almost cut that part. It felt like whining. I left it in. The exhibition was in a real gallery downtown. Families invited. Jurors circulating with clipboards. I brought my mother. She'd taken her first night off in months to be there, and she stood in front of my piece for a long time without saying anything. And then she put her hand flat on my back, the way she does when she can't find words, and I felt it shaking. My painting won the scholarship. Full ride. The head juror told the room that what moved her wasn't just the technique. It was that the piece took an act meant to erase someone and turned it into proof they couldn't be erased. People clapped. Some of them were crying. Strangers. Crying at the thing my brother swore would make no one feel anything. And Reyes was there because our mother made him come. He stood at the back with his jaw set, ready to be unimpressed. Then he read the little placard, the statement, the part about the paint thinner, his own act described in my words on a gallery wall with a crowd reacting to it. I watched him realize that the room was feeling hard, the exact emotion he'd bet money no one ever would. He turned and walked out onto the sidewalk. Through the window I could see him standing out there with his hand over his mouth. He didn't apologize, but when we got home he was sitting on the front steps, and as I passed he said, without looking up, "The one of Mom, the old one. Was it really that good?" I said it was. He nodded slowly and said, "Yeah, I figured. That's kind of why." I finally understood him then. He hadn't destroyed my work because he thought it was worthless. He'd destroyed it because he was terrified it wasn't, and that I had a thing he'd given up looking for. The scholarship's in my name now. The painting hangs in that gallery's permanent student collection, where my mother can visit it on her one day off. So tell me, when someone tries to erase the proof that you matter, is the sharpest revenge to fight them, or to make something so undeniable it makes even them feel the thing they swore was impossible?